Okay, but here's my thought. Like, who do you think you are?
Well, Pastor, I think I like you. I love you. But I think it comes down again, they don't like you. They just don't like you. He hates you that much.
Yes, Miguel hates you.
Yeah. I love you. I care about you. Those dudes hate you.
He like looks up at you and he's like, I hate you.
Hey, welcome to another edition of the Not Offended podcast. We're here with the crew. We just gonna jump right into it. But as you know, we got the token, the agent, and of course the bishop is in the house. I mean, we got a good one for you today. Okay, so guys, we were talking about this off air. I think we should bring it on air. If you could hang out with any rap artist, dead or alive, who would you hang out with? If you could choose any one artist just to have dinner with, who you going for? Go ahead. Who wants to start off on this one? Who you going for?
Oh man, it's just a dinner.
Just
or
a
you
dinner.
Get to hang out like
dinner,
during the day,
yeah,
nighttime.
Whatever, just for the day, whatever. But any rap artist, go ahead.
Man, I was 90s, 2000s,
Okay.
so 90s, probably Pac.
Okay, Pac.
A little M.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
You only get one. You only get one.
He's
You
torn.
get the Mount Rushmore of rap.
Yeah. Okay, I can't name five. All right, so Pac for sure.
Okay.
Just to see him growing up.
Okay,
Yep.
Okay, what you got, Bishop? What you thinking?
I'm thinking
Remember,
maybe
your mom's watching.
There we go, Mike.
I've never listened to that.
What's the dude for Rum DNC? Run. He a believer. He a Christian now. He a pastor. That'd probably be like Alvin. He call himself now. P Diddy, Puff Daddy. I'll probably hang out with him.
All right, Sean
hang out with
Combs,
him.
right.
Yeah, get his business. Mind.
Yeah,
see what he knows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, I'm going Snoop.
Snoop. Oh.
Well, Snoop's still
hey,
smoking.
Yeah, I was gonna say you gotta watch the contact high on that one, bro.
Oh, yeah. But he'll have great stories.
He will have great stories. Okay.
Snoop's got great stories.
You know, I think all you guys, I think all those are winners right there. But I know this ain't gonna surprise nobody if you know me. And if you've been following the Not Offended podcast, then you're gonna know I'm gonna say Kanye. I would love to spend a dinner or to spend the day with Kanye. I think he's a genius. I know everybody goes in on me like, you know, he's not all there or whatever, but that's okay.
You catch him on a good day.
No,
the conversation might make sense.
I still would like to spend the day with him. I'm a big Kanye fan, so I just want everybody to okay, let's do another one. If you could spend the day with any president, what president would you choose to spend the day with or to have a meal with? Who you guys going for? I'll give you two options on this one. Who would you go ahead and have dinner with or lunch with or whatever? What you got?
Ooh, right?
I know we got people watching, but this is the Not Offended podcast, so come with it.
I'll hang out with Bush.
Okay.
I'll hang out with Bush.
Okay, you gonna hang out with Bush? Okay.
He likes cars. I like cars, so I'll hang out with him.
Okay, if you had a second one, who would you be back up?
I don't know. Like, come back to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me think about that. See what my consequences are.
Okay, I'm going to go Obama.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
and then I'll go super old school, like somebody like George Washington.
Oh. Okay, that's two different types of conversations there, if you ask me.
Yeah.
That's a good one, though. That's
That'd be good.
interesting.
Washington would be cool.
Yeah, what you got, bro?
For me, it would be Reagan and Lincoln.
Oh,
sure. Those
another
two.
old school.
Yeah.
Man, hey, listen, I think both of those are great. Now that you said, I do have a confession. I'd love to spend the day with Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
I think that would be good. Now you guys got me torn. You got me torn because I like all the answers you guys said, with the exception of Bush. I wasn't ever really a big, George W. or his dad. I was never a Bush fan, so to say. I don't know why. I just wasn't. But man, I think if I was hanging out with Obama, I'd definitely talk sports. I know he loves sports. More of a basketball guy he is, and I'm more football, but it's okay. I would like to hang out with Donald Trump. I think that'd be fun because I know he was a businessman. Remember, I grew up, Trump wasn't a politician. He was literally a movie mogul. He was a businessman. I mean, all the rappers I grew up listening to all wanted to be Donald Trump. They had him in his rap videos. Trump was a status like a Gucci or a Versace. Like, to hit Trump status meant you had money.
Right.
So anyway, but man, you started talking about Lincoln and Washington. Wow. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's go for low-hanging fruit. Let's go for an easier one. Okay, if you could hang out with any athlete, dead or alive, any sport, who would you hang out with for the day? What athlete?
Okay, so let me ask you this. So is it during their prime or like now?
Sure, during their prime, it doesn't matter. Who would you hang out with? Go ahead.
Ooh, yeah. So during their prime, I'm a '90s Bulls guy, so Michael for sure.
Ooh,
during the
okay.
Bulls, during their run
During
there.
that run.
So that's a team I'd love to follow. So hang out with Michael.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael Jordan.
I'm hanging out either with Tom Brady or another name people I won't know is Lewis Hamilton. He's a race car driver. But
Okay.
he's big in the rest of the world.
So can you tell our audience, because obviously we're getting to know Deshaun here a little bit. So Deshaun loves race car driving. Is that what we're getting?
Yeah.
Okay, what type of race car driving? For
He's
us,
an F1, Formula One.
F1, Formula One. And where do those races normally happen at?
Actually, this weekend they're having the first one in Miami. So they're shutting down Miami. Next year they'll have one in Vegas too, shutting down the Strip, driving down the Strip. I want to go to that one, but it's on a Saturday night. I might have to miss church, so I don't know.
Out there with a sinful Saturday trying to come back for a safe Sunday.
I figured Vegas is safer than Miami, I figured.
Hey, touche. That's a good point. Look at Mike. Mike's over here contemplating.
Vegas and
Mike,
Miami,
be a little
man.
safe.
Wait, time out. Summertime or wintertime?
I don't know if there's winners in Miami.
That's true. Ain't no winners. Okay, hey, so what you got, Mike? Who you got?
Man, I think Brady would be cool.
That would be.
Brady would be cool. His story would be cool to hear. I mean, not being highly touted and making it to where he's at. I think somebody like old school, like a Jackie Robinson would be really cool.
Ooh, that's good.
Good one, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody who had to like overcome a lot. So I'm gonna go either Jackie, Babe Ruth. I think Babe Ruth would be sick.
Yeah, that's good.
They say he might be black.
Babe Ruth.
You'll find out, yeah.
Oh,
That's the myth. That's the myth. That's the myth.
Wait, you gotta tell us that story.
I never heard that one. But yeah.
I feel like he was trying to set me up right now. Like my answer was gonna change. Like, oh, well, you know he was black. Okay, well then forget Babe Ruth. All right, I'm not doing that.
That was a setup, D. I'm not gonna lie, Bishop. That was bad. That
I'm
was
serious.
bad.
Look at it. Google it.
Okay, Google it. You know what? This shouldn't surprise anybody. But if I can hang out with anybody right now, Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
I knew you guys would do this to me. I knew you would do this to me. But DC, where you at? I'd love to hang out
How about
with
a
you.
package? DC and Devontae together.
I would take.
You handle it.
I would
There you
even
go.
buy him dinner. That's all day right there. So
He ain't got no
but-
story. He's from Bakersfield.
I mean, why you do that, bro?
What are they going
Why
to tell
you
you
gotta
about?
do that to me?
The oil fields or what?
Come on, man. Why you gotta do that to me? Wait, listen. I would just like to see how he's handling all this.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I mean, he is a strong believer. He was a strong believer of Fresno State. He's been scrutinized. Everything, and he's held fast. Listen, remember, need I remind all of y'all, when any of those players were getting in trouble, and there was a lot for the Raiders, who was the first one to the defense? Always bringing a word of encouragement. Always bringing a word of hope. He was always having everybody's back. So I just want to say, as a quarterback, that's exactly what you want. You want to see from your quarterback. So I'd love to hang out with him and just see, how he is in his everyday life, and just get the chop. You could talk about football. You could talk about the Lord. And you could talk about, of course, the 559 because he lived here. So that's just me. I love to hang out. I see you guys ain't feeling that. You guys are looking at me like, out of all the people in the world, he gonna say Derek Carr.
That's a good Christian answer. That's good. You probably be the pastor. That's good.
I can't believe you just did that too. You set Mike up, now you set me up. All right, I see. Okay, yeah, no, I want to hang out with Lawrence Taylor, okay? The exact opposite of what Derek Carr is. Thanks, Bishop. Okay.
Hey, you don't want to hang out with Kanye.
Hey,
you don't know where that's going to go.
Why you see you picking on me with Kanye again? Kanye loves Jesus. Man. Man, I ain't getting no love from you guys. I hope you guys chime in on this, man.
Only
Put
God
these
can
guys
judge
in
me.
check.
That's what Tupac said, right?
That's right.
Oh, man.
That's
I'd
just-
rather somebody else judge me.
Oh my gosh, you guys are killing me today. See, I'm gone one weekend and you start throwing me under the bus. I see how it is. Well, let's talk about something. We have had a lot going down. I feel like our story with the adventure purchasing the Tower Theater is turned into like a novella. We are out on the golf course on Friday, beautiful golf course, having a great time. And lo and behold, we get a text message, and the city attorney, Dougie Fresh Sloan, that's his new nickname, Dougie Fresh Sloan, is quitting because he got a new job in SoCal. First off, I ain't going to hate on it because I think he said like Santa Monica. I ain't mad at you, bro. Like, if you leaving here to go to Santa Monica, I got nothing but love for you. And I'm sure there's a little bit more paper because we all know cash does rule everything around you. Cream.
He did have a nice salary here. He's making about $250.
No, They said with his amenities and everything, he's almost 300 a year. For those of you who are watching, you don't know what that is a month. That's about $26,000 a month. Let that sink in.
Dang.
That's nice.
Obviously, it wasn't worth it though.
Yeah, it wasn't worth it.
Dealing with those people. He was like, you know
dealing with
what?
City Hall.
I'm out.
So let's get into this a little bit. So Dougie Fresh Sloan is gone. What? Anybody's got any thoughts on this? Like first you lose your city manager, Tommy Escueda. I don't got much love for you, Tommy. Like, man, that letter you sent us was dirty. After you sent us the first letter, Tommy. But we won't get into that. But Tommy Escueda gone, city manager. Now the city attorney is gone. All within, 30, 45 days? I don't know. If we could put an emoji right now, it'd be the one right there, right? Yeah. Anybody got any thoughts? What's going on? My first thought, okay, who's next?
Well, my first thought was timing, right? You got Granite Park stuff going on. You had Tower stuff going on. Like, what's the timing on it? He's been there at City Hall for 16 years, 9 years as the city attorney. He just now decides, well, we don't know if he was forced out or if he took the job. So I don't know.
Speculation.
I don't know.
Now we stir in the pot. This is good.
We just know he's got till the end of May. He's no longer
Okay,
there.
guys, forced out or did he just quit? You guys, what do you think? I mean, it's your opinion. It's your podcast.
Okay, this has been planned ahead of time, or you think that was that quick?
Well, I think there was previous talks about, the mayor wanting some power to hire an attorney. Where right now it's just the city council. So they have been talking about that.
Okay,
in regards to the city attorney. So I don't know. I don't know. But the timing for it right now, and here's the thing. What's important too is when you want to dump the news, right? A news dump. It comes out on the Friday. This thing came out Friday afternoon at 1:30. Okay, that's the worst time slot for something to come out. And so that's what happened Friday. He made that announcement. So
anybody over here? What you think? Timing, speculations.
When you gotta continuously help cover up corrupt politicians, it's got to be tiring. It's like, how much more crap, for the lack of a better term, I got to clean up from you guys, and you're just, I'm going to flippantly do whatever I want. Like, they don't got to be the ones defending the city. They just do the stupid stuff, and then he's got to defend them. I mean, he's got to get tired. It's like, man, you guys doing stupid stuff again? All right, here we go. It's like you always got that one friend that's got to fight for everybody else.
Yeah.
Eventually, they look at you and be like, nah, you got to fight your own fight because I'm tired of beating up everybody else for you.
Mike, I must say the last 3 weeks you have not been at a loss for words. I got more. We on a time crunch. I think Bishop said last week he gonna rein us back in a little bit. Bishop, what you got? What are you thinking about the timing of this?
That's what I was thinking. I want to make sure we're not being like some council members just throwing stuff out there just to throw it out there.
Right.
I mean, there's some council members just saying this nonsense and then being stuck on this. But again, it is kind of weird that they're leaving this quickly. And it's like this news is just coming out. And it's like, again, what Mike was saying, I got to keep cleaning up your stuff. Like, I'm tired of it.
Right.
Let me go somewhere else.
Well, I mean, look, I guarantee you, to be the city attorney for that long, he is extremely smart. He is extremely smart. He looked like he was lost at the city council meeting.
That's real.
So what's happening is that you have council people who are putting him in such a position that makes him look like an idiot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Councilman Carbasi's asking him questions, and he's like, well, I don't know. It's like, it makes you look bad.
Yeah, I think you bring up a very good point. I'm not going to speculate on what's going on. I just think timing is everything. You lost two of the most key people on your administration, which is your city manager and then, of course, your city attorney. This does look, the optics don't look good. And I think that's something to weigh into consideration that the people are looking at as well. But also, I think it starts to ask another question. Is someone else next? Is something else happening? Is this the beginning of a transition and a shift of things, of maybe culture or what's going on? Is there a power struggle down at the city?
Yeah.
And I think there's absolutely a power struggle. And that brings me up to something very interesting. We were able to touch on it a little bit last week. I think we really need to touch in on it right now. Is this whole thing, and it's people are still posting nonsense, and they're saying, well, if the church would have bought the building, excuse me, or if the church buys the building, we're not going to pay taxes. Footnote for everybody who's watching, the city doesn't pay taxes. Once again, they're going to use your tax money to purchase the building, and then Miguel Arias, who just, and by all accounts is just a genius, says we're going to use your money to buy it, and then we're going to put in parking meters so that you can pay for what you just bought. That's your councilman, District 3. That's how he's going to stick it to you. He's going to put in parking meters so you can use your tax dollars to buy it, and then your tax dollars to sustain it. All because that's what he does. So I think this is very important for you to understand. But we were going to pay taxes. I don't know where they get this, Bill Richardson. You're the agent. Tell everybody who listens in how we were going to pay taxes.
It's property taxes. So churches are exempt from paying property taxes. There's an exempt that you can file in to the city for it. But the Tower Theater, since it has restaurants on the property, and since theater shows and things are still going to happen, they're going to be we're not going to be selling tickets. We're going to hire out.
Correct.
But there's going to be for-profit entities that's happening there, and so you have to pay property taxes. And again, I said it last week. I'll say it again this week. Lawrence has been paying $1,000 a month in property taxes for the Tower Theater because it's been 80 years since they've had it. And so when we purchase it, that price gets reassessed at $4.8 million. And now we're paying property taxes based on the $4.8 million, which is about 5 times more than what's currently being paid now. And so
I feel like, and I'll ask you guys, since we're going to talk about Soria and Arias, those are district council members. Is it 1 and 3? Yeah, 1 and 3.
Yeah, 1 and 3.
Currently, Annalisa Perea is running for Soria spot. That's who she has tapped to be her successor. And just to be honest with you guys on that one, not feeling that one either. She's been out there protesting. Now, she don't know nothing about us, but she's just doing whatever Soria tells her to do.
She started the GoFundMe for us.
Did you hear that, fam? Annalise Perea, anti-church, anti-God, anti-adventure church, right? Starts the fundraiser against us to for this whole lawsuit. So what do you guys think, about this and just how these web of lies have started that we wouldn't pay taxes? By the way, when we purchase it, all the upkeep falls on our shoulders, not the taxpayers, right? So what do you guys think about that? Just the web of lies that have been trying to be spun, and then the news media outlets just running with the web of lies, not doing journalism and investigation at all. You guys got any thoughts on that?
Well, one thing, maybe Miguel knows that the theater doesn't make money, so he has to charge for parking. Maybe he knows that. Like, this is going to go really bad. So I'm going to put parking meters in to make money. Because the theater doesn't make money, as Bill pointed out last podcast. The other thing is, literally this morning, I'm dropping off my daughter, and the security guard says, he's for us, but he was like, it seems like the big deal is that when you guys move in, how people are going to get their liquor license. I'm like, bro, no one's even arguing that more. The city's not even arguing that anymore because it's a stupid argument. And I tell him, dude, I go to a meeting with Soria, and I'm sitting in this meeting, and she's basically lobbying for this person to get their liquor license. They're across the street from Fresno High. They're between the Big Red Church and the Mormon Church, and they're going to get their liquor license. I'm like, you're sitting here saying that church places can't get their liquor license if we move in, and this place is across the street from a high school in between 2 churches. It's like, man, you're such a freaking liar. Right. I don't know if Miguel's lied. I haven't called him necessarily in a lie. She definitely lied.
Of people. He talks to thousands of people.
Well, yeah.
I think that's stretching it.
Yeah, that's probably a lie. Her, for sure, out of her mouth, she has lied.
Yeah, she's
I sit in that meeting and was like, man, you're such a freaking liar.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe it's just me and I caught feelings, which I'd be more than willing to own. But I feel like this is a personal vendetta. This is something between Soria and Arias against Adventure Church. And I say that because, and we're going to dive into it now. I say that because we have a letter here from January 27, 2021, where Lawrence Abbate, Lawrence Abbott, a.k.a. Lawrence Abbate, met with Miguel, Esmeralda, and Terry Cox at his office January 11th 2021. On or about.
What's Terry Cox's role?
What is Terry Cox's role?
She was the chief of staff for Esmeralda.
Is she still chief of staff?
I think she moved into a new position, or
Okay.
she's going to move to a new position, but she's been with Esmeralda for a long time. And even before, I add on to this list, even before this meeting happened, she actually met individually with Lawrence. That's what he told me, that she went in there first before this other meeting happened. So
That Terry Cox did?
That Terry Cox did, yeah.
So going back, if we look at what happened about 11 or 12 days ago at the city council meeting, it was Soria and Arias who put together this proposal. It was Soria and Arias who we found out were there at the city council meeting. They were in the mediation.
Yeah.
And it's Soria and Arias right here again in this private meeting interfering with our sale. Am I not supposed to feel like this is a personal vendetta?
Eris hates you. He does not like you. He wants to be the big Mexican, but he's the small Mexican guy.
Okay. Shots fired. Wow.
What? Bishop, Mike, you have been dethroned. Bishop, it is all you today. He is on fire.
He really demonstrated that when last Sunday he walks by and wants to take his victory lap like he won something.
That got on your nerves, didn't it?
Yeah, it's like you want to blah, and you don't want to say anything because you're a coward. You headphones in and keep walking with your sandals on, your flip-flops on, thinking you're cool. Like, you're a dude. You're just a coward. You're over there on the other side who are dressed like idiots, and you're over there supporting them.
Right.
Like, just...
Okay. You were about to say something. And you were going to let him just go off on it, Mike. I saw that. You're supposed to be his brother, man. Help him out. So what do you think, Mike?
Don't say that.
So, Mike, what do you... Personal vendetta? What is it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, obviously they're politicians. They don't really care about people. They just care about a platform and a position.
Wow.
This is just... It just shows you... I mean, the lack of integrity that these people have shown throughout this process is just unreal. It's just unreal to know that I'll speak about Esmeralda Soria specifically, to allow people to be so uninformed. I'll give you an example of kind of like what I'm thinking about in my mind. So there's people across the street from the church or from the theater on Sunday mornings who still have no rezone signs.
Right.
And it's like, instead of coming out and saying, hey, the whole rezoning thing isn't really applicable anymore.
Right.
Because, in the proposal that the city gave to us, they were still going to allow us to meet there on Sundays. Right. So if you're going to allow us to meet there on Sundays, then it's not a zoning issue.
Correct.
So for that false narrative to continue to be played out and not coming in to address that, it just shows such lack of character. For her to know people personally at the church, but yet allow there to be this stigma attached to the church that's so false, and not addressing that just shows that you have no integrity.
Wow. Yeah, you're right.
Right. So we've checked the box of you're a liar, and now we're checking the box of you have no integrity. The next box is, am I going to vote for you? And the answer to that would be absolutely not. Why would I vote for somebody like this?
Right.
And so when we talk about it being a personal vendetta or a personal angst or something that's coming that you don't like about the church, then the answer is absolutely. When you allow people to talk bad about your character. So when I say you and them, what I'm saying is Esmeralda Soria allowed the media. She allowed these constituents. She allowed there to be a false narrative about our church, which she knows about. She allowed there to be a false narrative about you, Pastor Anthony, and about your wife, Pastor Mandy, and about your family, which she knows isn't true. Right. So instead of addressing that and say, you know what, check this out. I know Pastor Anthony personally. This is not how he is. Let's address the issue. Okay, you guys are afraid of your liquor licenses. Let's talk about that. Hey, you guys are afraid of being rezoned as a business. Let's talk about that. But she didn't. She didn't. She wanted this snowball to continue to roll for her position and her platform because it's all about her.
Yeah. Mike, I'm going to take it a step further than that. You said misinformation that's out there. I'm on record. I'm going to say that Those two are the ones who created the misinformation.
They empowered them. They didn't just let it go. They gave them the power to do it.
They gave them the misinformation. Okay, this is important. Miguel Arias tweeted, I believe it was like January 7th.
We got that tweet.
And said that the church, okay, by being there is going to devalue all the small businesses in Tower, okay, by getting rid of their liquor license. He tweeted that.
Oh, so he is a liar too.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And so this was before protests started. Protests started, I think the first one was January 10th.
January 10th.
So they were already out there in the community spreading all this misinformation. And Esmeralda put a community letter together that said the church is going to have to go through a rigorous rezoning process.
She did.
In order to get it. And so they set this narrative. It wasn't that the protester was misinformed and then they didn't jump on it. Those two created the misinformation. And so that's important. It's important to know.
This is just, if you take a step back, this is just unbelievable. It is just unbelievable that you could have two city officials with just such a vitriolic streak in them that they would stoop to nefarious types of behavior to really just bring down a church, which has done nothing but bless a community. And for whatever reason, there is just nasty streak in them to say at all costs, whether it's misinformation or lying or just, putting people down or just not even, saying, hey, that's too far. They will do anything at any cost to stop us. Now, it's interesting because listen to this. And we need everybody to hear this as I read through this. Lawrence types, Lawrence types up for us bullet points. Listen to this, okay? So we've touched on this a little bit, but listen to some of these bullet points.
This is a letterhead that he put
This is on his letterhead. This is what he gave us. He signed, dated 1/27/2021. This is what he said. The city inquired about the terms of our purchase. They wanted to know how much we were paying for the building. That is completely what? Illegal. You are not allowed to ask about a private sale.
Well, they can ask, but I don't know what was discussed in there. So,
but it's out of bounds.
It's out of bounds.
The city knows it's out of bounds. Okay, maybe it's not illegal. Okay, it's out of bounds. It is not it is unethical. As a city council member, you are not supposed to go around trying to ramrod deals and trying to make them sink like it's the Titanic.
From my understanding, why they wanted to know the terms, the price, yes, but they also wanted to know if we were buying it cash, if we had a lender, because they wanted to go after our lender by doing the
watch this. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Said, give us the terms of the purchase agreement. The city also mentioned this is January of 21 that they might be interested in purchasing the property. 1 year, 2 months later, and what do we have? The city purchasing the property. Does anybody else now find this ironic? It's the same two people. The same two people. Okay, here's another one. The city mentioned, drum roll please, possibly using eminent domain to purchase the Tower Theater. By the way, I'm still waiting on the letter. Miguel, we know that you like to hide things and not come out with things, but where is the letter? Where's the letter from the Preservation Society on how the tower is being preserved? We want to see the letter. Because right now, it's just looking like you got personal beef, which we all know you do.
Yeah, Miguel's not going to put it out, but I'll ask the community out there. So the historical preservation went in there at the time that they did the appraisal, the same time, they did a report, okay? They were asked to do a report to see how the theater was being preserved. And so there is a report and a letter out there. I don't know. Somebody's going to get a hold of it. I haven't seen it, but there is a report. So
okay, how about this one? Listen, tell me how this one makes you feel. They literally asked Lawrence, wouldn't you rather sell it to someone else?
That one's interesting.
Wouldn't you rather sell it to someone else? I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? What's your first thought when I say, wouldn't you rather sell it to somebody else?
I'll speak on it. So that one's interesting to me because I went back and saw an ABC 30 article from January 7th.
That's not from the famous reporter who does.
No, he does this
corn
with
dog. Our big
Corn
dog.
Corn dog.
Okay, corn dog hogger. There you go.
Corn actually does us a favor on this time, okay? He does us a favor because she's quoted on there.
There we go.
No, I didn't mean it like corn dog, like my dog, like he got dog in him. Corn dog, DAWG. So you guys, we all. Anyway, you guys are trying to get me in trouble.
I wasn't even laughing.
I meant like my dog.
I was
Come
laughing
on.
that Bill said he did us a favor. It's like, what is this guy?
No, he does us a favor because he quotes her in this.
Oh,
in this
give me the quote.
article,
He's famous
okay?
for his quotes.
So he says in there that she's already had discussions about using Measure P. This is a year ago, okay, in January, over a year ago. But she said, and she's quoted in there saying that there might be other investors who would be willing to step in. How does she know this? How does she know there's other investors in the city of Fresno interested in stepping in to buy the Tower Theater? Are they having discussions about this? What's happening there? That one's interesting.
Well, some of those investors might have, $4 million extra from the city.
Whoa. Okay.
I just throwing that out there.
Oh, okay. Well, that was
I mean, that didn't happen. It didn't happen.
We're speculating again.
But at that time.
At that time. That's true. At the time.
At that time.
He is right.
There was money. There was money on the horizon.
The token. There was money on the. You are correct.
I mean, I think that thrill is gone. But
he quoted the thrill is gone. For all of you who appreciate good music, that was impressive. Hey, bro, that's a good point. But how does that make you feel? Wouldn't you rather sell it to someone else? Who are you that you could just go into a private sale?
They're like Don Corleone. Oh,
I make you an offer. You can't refuse.
You an offer.
You know,
yeah.
Like who are you?
You buy it. You sell it. You sell it to me.
Okay, but here's my thought. Like, who do you think you are?
Well, Pastor, I think I like you. I love you. But I think it comes down again, they don't like you. They just don't like you. He hates you that much.
Yes, Miguel hates you.
Yeah. I love you. I care about you. Those dudes hate you.
He looks up to you and he's like, I hate you. I hate
you. Why? What did I do? That's what I want to know.
The funny thing about it is that's a great question because I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I don't know because we had no interaction with Miguel. It's funny, arguably probably the biggest Hispanic congregation in his district. He never reached out, never said, hey, I'm your council person. I'm here to represent you. Never said anything to us. We had no interaction with Arias until the pandemic, and we were looking for direction on how to approach shutdowns and things like that.
Right.
And we reached out to his office. I think we're still waiting to hear back.
Yeah, we're still waiting to hear back. Wow.
But like, how do hey, you're our representative. We want to do things the right way. Like, what do we do? Can you kind of give us some guidance? And they didn't say anything. And then the next thing that we hear from his office is obviously like, we hate you. We want to shut you down. You guys can all go somewhere else.
I have a thought.
Give me a thought. I'll take anything right now.
Maybe you're the wrong type of Mexican.
Ooh.
Okay.
Bocho, here we go.
So politically, right? Your name, the conservative Cholo.
They hate my name. They hate the conservative Cholo. I don't know why. And I say, okay, conservative Chicano then. They hate both of them. They just don't like it. They don't like my politics. They don't like what I stand for. They don't like how I can't be moved. They don't like how I can't be bought. I ain't for sale. You can't buy me. You can't own me. I belong to Jesus Christ. I was washed in the blood. They will never have nothing over me. They can't find no dirt. They can't find no stank. They can't find no stench. And I definitely don't kiss rings. So this is why they can't stand me.
So maybe because you don't line up with them politically. Right? And so...
Well, you could be like Maxwell and Esparza, and when they say jump, you're like, how high? How high?
I know Pastor Manny doesn't like this, but you're not a safe Mexican. You're just not a safe Mexican.
Tell the audience what that means. Tell the audience what that means.
Here we go.
They don't know what you go say, what you go do. Because you're going to follow where Jesus leads you. So again, you can't be bought. You're not going to do what they want you to do, what you want to say. You're going to be culturally who you are. You walk into a room full of people who are, business minded. I mean, you might clean up a little bit, but you still go be you. And they don't like that. They want you to clean up all the way. Yeah. Put that suit on, that tie on, be the safe Mexican dude that people can take pictures with. Yep. Yeah. If you can take pictures with them, my kids feel safe. He ain't giving no Kanye references. All that stuff. They want all that cleaned up. They might say back in the day you get whitewashed a little bit, but you ain't that.
No, I'm not.
I mean, you safe. mean, that's why Pastor Ray don't like it. You safe, we ain't got to worry about you. You love Jesus, you can watch my kids anytime you want to, because they can come over. I'm free to do that, You're not okay. You're not offering, okay? I was waiting for
well, they're my God kids. Of course, I'm always offering. Absolutely. I think you bring up a good point, but let me give you the last two things, and I think this is so important for the audience to hear. In this letter, and these are the last two. Bill, you guys have got the letter in front of you. It says this: the city mentioned potential zoning issues. Then it goes on to say the city stated that the city could not stop the sale, but they did mention to me about the church and the other matters with the zoning issue. So in other words, let me lay this out for the audience. They said to themselves, it's going to be really hard to stop this sale. But if we attack the zoning issue, maybe we'll get the lenders to buckle.
I have a question. So Preya, right? Is she on staff with Soria?
She's not. She's actually with the city community board, or she sits on some board there at the community college.
Because the reason I put that connection together is she supported Sequoia.
She did.
Which they sued, which stopped our sale.
Correct.
Did the council have part of it? Was the council part of that?
So, no. So, Perea has been Esmeralda's protege, I guess. She's the one who they've been kind of grooming for this seat that's coming in District 1. So, they're definitely friends, definitely ties there. But, yeah, she's the one who started, along with Tyler Mackey, this GoFundMe to support Sequoia's legal funds to file this less pendants. And that's why we've been tied up for the last 15 months.
Right. I just think it's interesting that, and this is just me, and I'm going to just break it down a little common vernacular right here. They threw everything in the kitchen sink at us, and they literally told us a year and 2 months ago how they were going to get this from us. They literally posted in this letter and gave Lawrence the playbook. This is the who was it? It was the Patriots that were stealing everybody's play calls in the playbook, and they were getting ahead of them. They literally stole the playbook on how they were going to stop this sale. I think this ought to outrage every Fresnan, every business person, every church needs to take notice. They need to get concerned. They need to be aware that first it's us, next it's you. This is affecting your tax dollars. This is serious. You have city council members who are not supposed to be biased, who are supposed to represent the Christians in this community as well, those Christians that go to Adventure Church, but instead it's a ramrod, it's a railroad agenda to stop Adventure Church from buying the city. I don't know what else to tell you all out there, but we have it here. We have proven to you in both episodes how this has come about. If your alarm bells are not going off, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't know how you don't spread the word, how you don't touch and tag 2 or 3 people and say, you need to watch what the city is up to. Now, on top of that, we got Tommy Escueda, gone. Dougie Fresh Sloan, gone. Who's next? I mean, come on, guys. This is some serious stuff. What is Jesus doing?
Yeah.
Because Jesus is at the center of it all, because we have not swayed. They have tried to cancel us. We have not bent or bowed. I mean, I've even got text messages from the mayor. We're going to use Measure P money to buy this building. I mean, how much more can you have thrown at us? But here it is, church. We are still standing because there is no quit in us.
Amen.
We are not going to give up and back down. We don't kowtow. We don't kiss rings. We don't play politics. But I'm asking every taxpayer, I'm asking every believer, we have presented our case right here, if you want to call it a case, but we just presented the evidence. We told you that everything that is going on behind the scenes that we can't tell you, that's not in an NDA, right? Right. This is it. How are you guys going to respond? You need to share this. You need to spread the word. But I'm telling you right now, we are going to fight this as far as we can and do what we can, because we believe we are in the right.
Yeah.
So do we have any closing thoughts? I mean, we presented a lot of evidence over the last 2 episodes, and I just encourage everybody, this is the Not Offended podcast. You got to go back to our page. You can find us on Facebook, on my page specifically, or you can go to the Adventure Church site on YouTube and catch these podcasts. But the last 2 have been fire. We've been on point on what we've been discussing. So give me some closing thoughts as we presented to the folks what we know so far.
Yeah, I'll go first, just because I was thinking about it. I really want to encourage you, and Bill, maybe you can explain how they can do this, but I'd really encourage you, if you haven't done so, go to the city council meeting that took place 2 Thursdays ago and listen to the questions that Councilman Carbasi brings up and the conversation that takes place towards the end of that portion of the meeting. Because what we're addressing right here today is that there was a personal vendetta or a personal agenda that 2 council people, the corrupt Miguel Arias and the corrupt Esmeralda Soria, put against us. And what you'll see is that there's a completion of that segment of the council meeting where there's a vote, where it's 4 versus 3. You can watch the face of Tyler Maxwell where he knows, because I don't think that his conscience is totally seared yet like the other ones.
Wow.
Where he knows that what his vote is about to do is the wrong vote. But he's hogtied because he's in bed with the other 2. Listen to the questions that Councilman Carbasi presents to the council and to former city attorney Doug Fredge. Okay, Dougie Doug. You will see where you will see how the council people have treated our tax dollars. Mm-hmm. They hadn't even read the case that was against them. They don't even know what's taking place. They said, how did you come up with 3.5%? I don't know. We just threw it out there. How did you come up with $1 million? I don't know. We just threw it out there. So you just throwing everybody's money around. Like, who was it? Carbasi said, hey, out of all of our 7 council people who were up here, who was in the back door? Who was in the meeting talking about mediation? Because they kept talking about how mediation took place. Oh, only 2 council people. So only 2 council people were there for mediation. Only 2 council people were there when Lawrence and them sat down together over a year ago. So right. Which 2 council people are above reproach and which 2 council people are doing things ethically and morally? Not them.
Right.
Just go on there. How do they find that council?
Go to Fresno.gov and under the government tab, I think you scroll down to agenda or city council agenda and you go to that date. Go to the video of the I think it's April 21st is when the council meeting took place, and I think the section you're talking about is about 3 hours 50 minutes.
Skip through all the all the opinions and the videos of people talking. Whatever.
He comes on about 3 hours 50 minutes into that video. So there you go.
You can find it on the city council's Facebook page too.
Okay.
Well, Mike, you were describing the $1 million, 3.5. That's called the White is Right deal. It's a STEMI package put out by the city council members. So we talked about that last week. And no, don't at me that I don't like white people. I already went through all this. My wife is white. My mother-in-law is white. I love white people once again. But that's what we call the STEMI package because no Mexicans got it. And Deshaun is waiting on his brand new truck. But Deshaun, give us your closing thoughts. Go ahead. Closing thoughts.
If I could even speak about something a little bit different, I mean, Pastor John, the man, had a great sermon yesterday.
That was great.
And I just want people to know, man, God is good. Like, period. I want to make sure people don't think we're just a bunch of angry people. Man, we have a good time here.
We have a great time.
In the office, man. And that message was just so amazing. It was so convicting and motivating to go and just love on my kids.
Yeah.
And sharing the word of God with them and instilling that into them. And it's like how important that is first besides anything else. Besides all of this, besides even the building, but investing in and loving on my kids. Not letting the government or someone else teach my kids, but I teach my kids and love on my kids. And we got to laugh with it. Sunday was great. Got to laugh, got to cry, got to get motivated to go and love on my kids. Man, it was such a good word. God is doing such amazing things at Adventure Church despite all of this. God is still moving. We still had a great prayer night last night where people are coming up to get prayer, worshiping God. Man, our God is still on the throne and he's still moving. He's still the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Everyone who's doing something wrong is going to answer to him eventually.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. Eventually they're going to answer. If I'm doing something wrong, I'm going to have to answer. Council members do something wrong, they're going to answer. God is still God.
Love it.
Yeah, the question I've gotten this past few weeks from our church is what happens next, And so I just want to encourage our church just to stay faithful. God's got us, and He's going to come through. And I'm so proud of our members, our church here, for just fighting on our knees in prayer. We certainly feel the prayers. As people that are kind of in the front lines here, we feel your prayers. We know you guys are praying for us because every step of the way, God has given us enough to fight that week.
Right.
Whether it's a letter that comes out, whether it's a news article, and we get little clips that comes, here's what your next battle is going to be. God has given us this path that we're walking on, and I want to encourage our church to keep praying. We love you guys, and we thank you.
Yeah, this is the Not Offended podcast, and I'm going to close this out with this. We are going to be talking about the adventure story next week. I think it's time for those who don't attend our church to get to know us, get to know the story, how we even all became friends, how this all started, how it started in my living room, and how God has just had his hand upon this. And we're going to talk about the good things. I'm done talking about this. The fight lives on. There's no quit in us. We're going to keep going. But I want you, the listeners, to hear some of the backstories. Because with Deshaun and Mike we're talking about, we do have a great time here. What you guys may not realize is there's always laughter in this building. There's always fun. Every time we go places and we do things, people always comment that there's a joy about us and a true happiness. And we want you guys to see that. That's why we even started off the beginning of this podcast with just getting to know us a little bit more and asking these random questions. But do me a favor. I want you to like, comment. I want you to share this. I want you to help us get the word out. This is the Not Offended podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week. Peace.